Hey guys, welcome back to Sacred Forge Healing. Today we're going to be doing the reading for October 8th through the 15th. So if you guys are new here, I do angel oracle card readings. So we're going to call in the angels for this. I've already kind of got them here as I've been taking some time here to write down some messages that we have for this coming week. So yeah, let's get into it. So the message that we have this week, I have it written down here in my journal, says capitalize on your ability to state what you both want and need. Helping others is a great thing to do, but not at the expense of who you are. So I've seen this happen for myself of, there are some things that I want to continue to work towards. And although sacrifice can be something that we end up having to do at times, we don't always have to do that. We don't have to sacrifice ourselves for anybody else. Not in this case. It does not feel that way. But it's capitalize on your ability to say what you need. So this is just a week to really be mindful about, okay, I need to be able to get my intentions across about what I'm currently needing and wanting. So, for instance, like if a friend asked you that to go out and do something when the time that you have scheduled for something else, it's okay to say no. That's kind of more, that's a message I have for myself as well. So this is a week about being honest about your intentions, both for yourself and to others. Toward the end of the writing message, they showed me a calendar with October 9th on it. So for some, there's a message about a calendar, about as if something important is happening that day, or there's a remembrance of something from the past. But it's something about this week, specifically, or especially October 9th for some reason. I'm not sure. That's for somebody out here there. May you have your message and understand more about what that message is supposed to tell you. But it's asking you to... depending on who it is, it's asking you to remember things of the past, or you have something really big happening this week. So make sure that you're being honest about your intentions with it, being sure that you're saying your whole truth rather than holding things back, because it's really important to be able to get that across and really move forward. So that is our opening message for this coming week. Let's go ahead and let's get into the cards. So we're using a different deck. I have so many. I have to start using more of them just because I don't know. There's something fun about having so many different art styles and different messages per se. So today we're going to be using the Priestess of Light Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor and Kimberly Weber. This is a deck that I have not used very much. So we're going to see what kind of messages we have coming through here today. All right. So thank you, angels, for revealing to us what we need to know for the week of October 8th through the 15th. Our highest and best good. We're willing to listen. We're starting off with 3 cards. Oh, there's a double reading today. Okay. Okay, they all go together apparently. Oh, this, I'll show you guys in just a second. So we have 3 cards from this first deck. We also have 3 other cards that I'm not going to get to just yet. So we have Sacred Breath and Sound, Life Force and Communication as our first card. See, there we go. This one isn't as matte. So our second card is Innovation, New Creation. Let's see. Yeah. Very beautiful cards. And then our last card for this one is Go with the Flow, Letting Go, Cleansing, and Receiving. So let's kind of go through what these are showing us for this week. So right here we first have Sacred Breath and Sounds. So we're going to go with this one today as our strength. Just kind of continuing with the Kyle Gray feel. So our strength, Sacred Breath and Sound, Life Force and Communication. So for me, what this is feeling like, I'm going to put it back up here. the best way to describe it is kind of going deep and seeing the different levels of who we are. You know, if I'm remembering this correct, which God, I hope I am, dolphins have to come up and breathe air, I would imagine. So, but it's like we're coming back up after seeing different levels of who we are. There's also a feel of like sound in this as well. Well, sacred breath and sound of like the sounds of nature when it comes to this. So let's get back to why this is a strength. What they're saying is that you've had this deep dive, a bit more of who you are, and you saw yourself on many different levels. What they're kind of acknowledging in this way is it's time to come up for breath. We receive breath and we give. So right now what they're asking you to be able to do and to open up to is to being, to receiving that energy, that life force, that communication. We're gonna stop it right there for that card. We'll come back. So the things that are on our heart, we have innovation, new creations. So this week, as already stated, we're talking a lot about, oh, that's kind of cool. This week we've already talked about stating our intention and really being very, very clear and allowing ourselves to get that across. What's kind of weighing on our heart, not necessarily weighing, is like, this is also a week for being creative in this way, allowing that new energy to flow through. I think last week's reading was a little bit about like ask and receive, and there was this cycle of completion. So once completion happens, so I would like to hear back from or feedback from people who have gone through this current week or this past week about what they kind of went through and where they saw these energies go. But right now is a birthing period. After completion, birthing starts to happen again. So the wheel of life is always cyclical. As one thing begins, another thing will end, and everything just keeps moving forward. I think that's also where our last card, Go With The Flow, kind of goes into. As we're allowing new things to be birthed, we're allowing things that aren't there for us anymore to go. So this can be the first words I heard were friendships, and that does happen. Sometimes we have people who are here for a long time, and then there are people who are here for a season. So just be mindful of that as people start to awaken and to move forward with their processes. There does tend to be a bit of a shedding period, and sometimes that can be a little painful. Although I don't really like to use the word pain, it can be a little uncomfortable. That's what I'll say. So our last card is Go With The Flow, letting go, cleansing, and receiving. So I've kind of talked a little bit about receiving just from our first card, but our challenge right now is to continue to let go of those old paradigms, of those old stories, so we can have this thing that's on our heart, this new creation, this innovation, to allow those newer things to come into play. This is a woman who is standing in her power, or a person, I should say, who's standing in her power, or their power. Let's see here. So that's our big picture. Let's see, we have 3 other cards that wanted to come out. Let's see. These are messages in and of themselves, so let's put these up. So we have 3 new cards. We have Death and Rebirth, Darkness to Light. So as we have talked a little bit about with Sacred Sound and Breath, of like seeing ourselves on multiple levels and finally coming out of it, allowing yourself to come back up, to take a breath, to see that light. That is what we're being asked to do, is that death and rebirth. As we're continuing to let go, more new can come in. That's why when we this is just reminding me of like when you have a house that's cluttered, when you start to get rid of things, the light, that blah 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 blah, the energy of the house starts to enliven. It gets lighter. When we can attach these remembrances or these memories to items. And so if we keep them close, then we're still holding on to events in that way. And sometimes it's really better just to let them go. Let them flow out and let them go to where they need to be. For some reason, this is what came in that moment. It's like you're holding on to something of perhaps an ancestor. We have ancestral legacy that comes up here in a minute, but it feels like you might be holding on to something from an ancestor who's ready to be let go. This can be a remembrance of somebody who, although is still here, even as people pass on, in my belief, they're still here in spirit. You can always connect to them. You can get messages from them, and be careful with that. Just be mindful. We have healthy and well ancestors and not. There's a duality in this. Some ancestors need healing, and so maybe that is what you're here to do. Some ancestors got your back. They want to be here and support you, and they're healthy. They've gone through their growth, and they've already been healed. But there just has to be a balance within that. Our second card for this set is Grateful Optimism, Joyous View of the Future. When you are stating your intention, let me put this card up here right quick. These are beautiful cards. So when you're really able to state what you need and what you want, you're allowing the universe to also hear you. You're putting that intention and that energy towards what you're trying to bring forward rather than not. So allowing yourself to be grateful and see yourself, you can envision yourself into the future and see, what would this path look like? And that's been coming up for me more and more recently as well, of like, what do I see myself doing in a few years? And it's like closing your eyes and allowing yourself to view every aspect of it as best as you can, to really feel the energy of that time. And then if it comes down to making that decision, what you feel like it will really go to. So it can be very much a thing of really paying attention to allowing yourself to have a happier future, allowing yourself to see it and feel it first. And if it doesn't match what you're wanting it to, then it's time to take a look at something else. And our last card, we have Sacred Purpose, Eternal Flame, Ancestral Legacy. We're living here in this time. A lot of us are doing healing for our ancestors, for our ancestral line. And there's a lot of things that are changing and shifting. Right now, so many people are healing things on different levels that it's important to keep yourself grounded, of course. But as you're going through this, you also get to be grateful that you're helping this move forward for the future generations. You're healing the past and the future. As you go through these ancestral traumas or ancestral work as you need to, you're allowing your future descendants not to have to deal with that. So it's a thing of also being aware of your legacy, of what you're going to be leaving behind, about what light you're going to shed here in this world. And that feels like it's a really big message here of, what are you going to leave behind? Yeah. So there are a lot of shifts and changes. I'm feeling them right now myself. Just be safe, everyone. Allow yourself to live in joy as much as you can. It's been put to me like joy and happiness is your litmus test. If you are feeling joyful about all the things that you're doing, of course, there's some times where we have that doesn't happen. But if you're able to bring more and more joy into your life, then you're living your purpose. When we get closer to our purpose, that's when we're finding that happiness and that joy that continues to be there. So, allow yourself to breathe, go with the flow. Continue to allow yourself to shed old patterns and old karma. But just be happy as best you can. Be grateful for being here and be grateful for what you're leaving behind. You're doing this for yourself, but you're also doing this for your family, for humanity, for the collective. Lots of things are shifting and changing right now. Just kind of buckle up and allow yourself to go with the flow. Laugh as much as you can. Try to live with a smile. But do it from a place of authenticity, not from a place of smiling on the outside and crying on the inside. It's important to share your emotions and share where you're at. So I think that kind of goes back to our first message of really sharing what you need and what you want. Be honest with yourself and be honest with those around you. Be honest with spirit, with the universe. Be honest with exactly what you want. Say this or better. So I feel like there might have been a little bit of rambling in this, but I hope this message serves you all well. Take care. Be safe this week. We have Friday the 13th. I'm thinking about holding some kind of reading event, and then we also have the Body Mind Fair at Wild Magic on Saturday the 14th. And it's also a eclipse, so there's a lot of lots of change energy just already there, and we have the new moon also on the 14th. So lots and lots of things that are coming up. Just kind of buckle down, allow yourself to be here in that moment. For some people, I would suggest going, well, for anybody really, but go sit by a river, allow yourself to kind of connect with it and allow things to flow onward. Just sit there and enjoy the sounds. You don't have to do much more than that. Just being there in that moment will help you to release more things. There's a family or an ancestral thing that has come through my lineage about working with thrush and clearing that out, and it works a bit with the river, about connecting. So just allow yourself to flow like that water. All water does eventually make it to the sea. Just allow it to go. Send it up to source. Send it down to Mother Earth. There's lots of ways to clear and cleanse. Just go with whatever way feels right to you. And now I will say we are done. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Be safe. Have fun. Smile as much as you can. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.